There's a Ghost Behind That Gyaru is a lovely manga about how an ordinary day for high schooler Hikari Shindu takes a nosedive when she notices a creepy ghost behind her best friend, Yuina Kurihara. However, instead of antagonizing the two girls with her unearthly appearance, the ghost seems instead to be interested in befriending the two, and enjoys the simpler things of life, such as eating melon bread and playing at the arcade. Ultimately, it's a wholesome read, with lovable characters and a cute art style that subverts expectations. However, one recurrent element that continues to fester the series in question is pertaining to the origins of the titular ghost, Reiko. She was discovered at a shrine by Yuina one day, and she was adopted out of the goodness of Yuina's heart. Even then, virtually nothing is known about Reiko. Even her name is just a nickname given to her by Yuina for convenience sake. See, Reiko cannot speak, nor can she even remember what her life was like when she was alive. So what could have possibly happened to her to make her forget about her past? Reiko was sacrificed. She was an orphan girl thousands of years ago. With no parents or family to fall back on, she had to resort to drastic means to avoid starving to death. Hunting, gathering, just enough to keep her body running. But her luck would change once she encountered the shrine. The priests of the shrine worshipped an evil god who demanded blood sacrifices in return for its services. And poor Reiko was unfortunately the perfect sacrificial lamb. And instead of sacrificing her on an altar or slitting her throat, they had even more cruel mechanisms. Reiko's wrists were tightly bound behind a tree with her lower body held back by chains. She pled for mercy, but her cries would go unheard. It was a harsh winter that year. With the little rags that made up her body, Reiko remained there for a few days. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and her suffering never ended. Her body, aching with the cold, turned blue, with Reiko suffering from symptoms of hypothermia, her blood turning pale and chilled. Permafrost formed at the tips of her fingers, nose, and eyes. Blizzards enveloped the hapless girl in more layers of snow, entombing her. And ever since that day, Reiko's soul could never sense peace. Because of the trauma stemming from her prolonged end, Reiko had internally forgot all about her past, shutting the door on the real world. Nevertheless, she still sensed a lingering despair deep within her undead heart, which would elicit tears. It would also explain why Reiko is always hungry, as it subconsciously remembers her time foraging for food. And during the winter, even when she is a fully non-corporal being, she can still feel great cold. It was during the worst day of her life that she was frozen to death.